live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that helped to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. EURODisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it! By ULTI.TV. I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Herning, and you're watching Cesi Dist take on RJP, French club versus Polish. And this is RJP starting things off with the disc in the white shirt. Tomczyk gets an impressive under to keep things going on this first point. Scuba and a goal right away. Hannah Vidrovska with that goal. She's had a pretty good run this to start this whole tournament off by the sounds of things, and starting off on the right foot here, Hanny.
Yeah, Joanna Vidrovska is probably a bit of an understatement saying she's had a good start to her long weekend. Of course, 3 days of play here in Denmark. We are launching you folks straight into the live streaming at Dave 2. Of course, the video streams were available yesterday. You can catch up on some of those games online. But yeah, Vidrovska storming through current stats leader, well, second stats leader for this team. 18 total, but 15 of those goals in that first point. Great representation and such a soft scuba.
Sesky go big early. Will it get over the top? Indeed it will. Oh, John Kofi, Mr. O'Monday hits the ground, and that is a nice response to level things at 1.
Yeah, a little bit of, I don't know, hesitation on the backtracking there from the defender, kind of looking to try and play the disc, a little bit undershooting it, but great confidence from Sesquidistus there, putting their first on the board and getting that rotation through. They've got a curious way of managing their squad, have Sesquidistus here.
Yeah, they get a short roster, and instead of depriving, as Gael said, people of the opportunity to touch a disc all weekend long and relegating them to the D-line, they are just rotating in order. This one, and no surprise who the target is. Foot down, a little hug with the net in the back there, and Vidrovska, 2 goals for RJP, both of them into the hands of Vidrovska.
Well, one of the things worthwhile mentioning about this incredible tournament complex is that this arena field does have quite a lot of separation between the athletes and the kind of playing space and the kind of stands here. Those nets come in handy. If you jump up, they can stop you from slamming in. You see that little cling on from Vidrovska as she pulls that one in.
Here comes Sesky René and Mr. Gael Onslen. Finds John Kofi, still playing out of their end zone. Mabourgui, the youngster, 18-year-old, dishes off to Onslen. Onslen doesn't like the first look from Maton and finds René before he's off to the races. Now Maton gets a look, far sideline. Onslen at the midfield, Maton again. This is the first high pass count possession we've seen in the game. Onslen shoots, Mabourgui is there, and the pass count got up a little bit, Hanny, but still walk it in the end there, and Sesky back on the board.
Yeah, a lot of action around the disc there for Sesquidistus. They just really took those resets, kept things nice and simple. They had numerous opportunities to really expand the pitch and go for those deep spaces. RJP really just kind of clustering the underneath, but they took their time, punched in, and of course there's 42 minutes of play for these indoor teams in this divisional format. But the surprising thing for me is there's no mixed indoors back home in France.
No mixed indoors in France. Huge indoor divisions for open and women's, but none in the mixed. Tomczyk. Oh, and that one gets away. picked off in the end there and thrown straight for goal. Maël Barentin finds René in the corner, and that's the first break of the game for the outfit from Strasbourg, France, Sesquidistus.
Yeah, first mistake, first turnover, immediate punishing. There was a little kind of bit of communication between Barentin and I think Aslan that just, I'm not sure that was a formal game plan, but it was a really lovely option, exceptionally well executed, and a rapid punishing of the first error.
Yeah, I saw that communication too. Hey, I was open. Yeah, but I scored the goal. Something like that, but in French. Tomczyk from deep in his own end zone gets a big gainer in the hands of Rabat, and now to Kublin. Kublin to Rabat. Big gainer there to Vidrovska. Kublin. And Kofi makes him step back on a travel violation. Vidrovska back to Kublin. Tomczyk. Inside throw, and there she is again. Vidrovska, all of the goals for RJP right now. It's tied up, 3 apiece, but that break in the back pocket, Hanny, for the French outfit.
Although having started on offense, RJP will have a little bit of a natural advantage, so that just levels things up, keeps it interesting here in this mixed crossover game, of course, deciding who will advance to the championship stages. But Tomczyk there really just demonstrating why he is the true stats leader coming into this match for this Polish outfit. His ability to throw whatever he likes whenever he chooses is pretty impressive stuff.
We see our first look at some of the rules that are augmented in this game. Cesi Dist is off and running. Barentin, leading throw. Into that corner, high stall count, but got away by Heller. Now Petito. Really working for a throw, high stall count, and they only go to 8 indoors, but Heller is found for the goal.
Just about gets that out before he ran out the clock. You could see there a bit of a defensive miscommunication. The sideline was just screaming the word backhand, but it's a backhand to what should be the break side space that eventually sees RJP's defense come undone a little bit. I'd like to see a little cheeky push pass there, but just a nice soft one into the break side space and an easy goal after a lot of hard pressure. You can see this style that Sesquidistus is trying to play, this sort of almost like a handler reset space on an indoor court that you see more on the outdoor side, but they nearly ran out of room and time in the end zone.
RJP, there's a nice overhead. Vidrovska. And a pick seems to be called. Indeed it was. René was unable to follow Tomczyk the way he liked, inhibited by his path. And Tomczyk all the way back. And all the way back, Vidrovska, but there's a whole bunch of bicep flexing out there, and that can indicate only one thing, Hannah.
Pick! And for those who are not familiar, a pick call, so you're not allowed, unlike in other sports, you're not allowed to use other players on the field to impede the movement of your defender to play match defense against you. You can't sort of set up things, unlike what you can do, sort of, picks in basketball, etc.
Quite the opposite. Intentional in basketball to set up the play, and ultimate
illegal.
Avoided at all costs, or it will be called and slowed down. Tomczyk puts the toe down inside the sideline. Put a meter out on that far sideline. Little push dish into the guts there of Majeshievsky.
Yeah, Arslan trying to be a bit smart there, doing a bit of bracketing in the end zone, but wasn't quite heads up enough. You can see perhaps on the replay, no, not quite there, just on a wider angle. If you wind the tape back, if you're watching this one, not live, you'll be able to see the kind of the pickup is a little bit flat-footed as that player runs up the line for an easy goal.
Yeah, what I liked about that one, and what I like about this indoor game entirely, that pass back to Tomczyk, retreated 10 meters. This indoor game, you can throw an assist from anywhere on the field. And that is the beauty of this game. Goals come. And as we say that, Petitot turns one over, and now a chance to level the break score for RJP.
That nearly sliced the head off of Maël Donatin there. What an awkward throw.
Krasowski sends it back. Now into the hands, Krul. Tarasenko. Back again to Kudenyuk. Semenyuk. Right back in the end zone now for Krasowski. Whoa, leading throw. Ancelin had a sniff. Leading again up that line. And a nice finish for RJP into the hands of Julia Krul for the goal. And the Poles get that break back.
Well, great attempt at the recovery from Sesquidistus' defense there. They really switched it on. It looked almost like until that first hammer came out that it was going to be a stall out on the first pass. But you can see here the exploitation of just grinding in this small channel, just running up those lines, trusting each other's legs, nice shaping on those passes. And what a ripper of a grab for Julia Krul.
And that one lands under the 2-meter tape, so I think that's got to be played from where it went out of bounds. No option to brick. Heller back of the end zone to René. Oh, awfully close. John Kofi. That layout to kick things off. Maton. And now Mabourguet. René. Kofi. René, and there's the shot for goal. Slices it through crossing traffic and finds just enough of a seam. That's another goal for Sesquidistus.
I have to say, the throws that are coming out of the French team at the moment, they are slightly risky biscuits. There are a couple that have gone a little bit astray, a little bit askew, and a lot of these passes are being contested quite closely by RJP. So one thinks perhaps in the last half an hour of this game, it's about how much we've got left remaining on the clock. We're going to see perhaps some of those last adjustments and those convert into blocks.
Tomczyk and RJP. Big gainer, but Barentin was thinking about having a bit of that. And another completion up the line. Sverkot. Tomczyk keeps his feet and his hands. And now Vidrovska. Braba goes back. Nice one-hand catch there. Marszewski to Tomczyk. Fakes the hammer. Gives back to Marszewski. And through Braba back to Tomczyk, who sends the hammer. Vidrovska. She knows how to score goals, Hannah.
So it's a really interesting choice to force the forehand, the flick side, when you're playing indoors, because especially with throwers like Adam Tomczyk, you have you're sort of putting yourselves out on a bit of an island there. The hammer over the top is then the break side throw, and you can really see the dynamic use of that. Vidrovska doesn't have to work really hard at all to just go receive that absolutely gorgeous overhead pass.
Gaël Ancelin handles with two hands and goes straight to René. Oh, Kofi was wondering, and for good reason, because there was a trailing receiver. That was Gaël Ancelin. Back of the end zone, full field pitch there, and Seski makes efficient with that offense.
Is there anything more enjoyable than just putting that reset pass up, that first pass, and then immediately just running to the end zone? It's the first time we've really seen Sesquidistus massively open up the pitch in at least a little while in this game, and it's nice to have those in the back pocket every now and then.
I like that. That was a beautiful play. And if you liked it, make sure you hit that like button while you're at it. We love having you and seeing you here on the broadcast as RJP go on their next attack. Petitot does well, but Tomczyk handles that one with 2 hands high. Hammers the other way, has the open receiver, and Ancelin says that touched something in the sky. He's got owl-like eyes.
Well, let's see what the replay might say.
Contested by Tomczyk. We're having another look on our screens here.
Everyone was confused, totally. Okay, if you want to contest it, it's fine.
That does look very smooth. It has to be said, as that reaches the receiver's hand, Steph, normally when you make contact with an object in the sky, there tends to be a little bit of a wobble that ends up on the Frisbee.
I mean, if it possibly hit a piece of mesh or flag, maybe it didn't have much of an effect. By rule, that would still be a turnover, but I didn't expressively see anything change as Ancelin did. Tomczyk bombs it, same throw, same corner, different receiver. Kublin picks up the goal.
I think that might be the same receiver, but just in the end zone rather than a little bit shy thereof. But the big difference is less of an arc, more of a flat hammer, nowhere near this lovely scoreboard. It's a real change. The last time we were covering an indoor tournament, we were back in Lithuania last year in December. Well, actually, no, 2 years ago in December, but last season, so to speak. But yeah, it's that one was the basketball hoops that had been sort of moved away from the playing fields, popped up in the sky, and that kind of saw a lot of the teams come astray and askew because, of course, we're at different places each time, different venues, whereas Denmark able to host it all at a single sports centre.
René goes to Kofi. Heller. Far sideline, approaching the midline. Goes back to René, one-hand snag. Mabourguet back to René. And the youngster, Mabourguet again. René. Oh, and there's going to be a foul called there. Foul accepted. The foot up by Pozanski, and he knew he got a big enough piece that he was quick to accept. René, Maton, Kofi. Kofi to Heller. Mabourguet. Ooh, and that one too far. The throw astray. And now a very short field. And I thought they had gone too far, but no. Great shape in the throw by Kudenyuk. And another goal on the board. And the recipient there, Krul.
Yeah, that was just really lovely shaping on that throw. And just the touch. There was a little bit of, extra bit of nitrous oxide that had to be injected to just make sure that one was going to be caught. But I'm intrigued to wonder if perhaps RJP there were putting on a little bit of a forced middle approach to their defense. On the far side of the pitch, there were very flat marks, really kind of just stopping that up the line action. And eventually the pressure just became a little bit too much.
So score now 8-6, a couple breaks for RJP there. Stretching away just a little bit. Biggest separation we've seen on the scoreline as Berrentin shoots for goal and reduces that gap to 1 with a goal to Heller in that right side corner, the top of your screen.
A little bit of a dad backhand there, the inside sort of, again, these backhands to the forehand side. It is difficult to execute a forehand softly indoors when you need to, but I really loved Berrentin's just kind of understanding of the fact that RJP's defense was really trying to take away that up line and just identified that and immediately started coming back towards the center of the pitch, towards the disc, and received a very quick pass to do so, leaving her lots of time to choose her throw.
RJP back on the attack. Kublin with the disc. Tomczyk now gets the gainer. That one out to Raba. High grab above Kublin, and Kofi goes for a little slide. And now the stall count. Slen there sniffing. Sesqui seems to have tightened up their D, and even though they didn't get it from that D, the pressure may have been in those heads. René wants Slen, gets Slen. Maton. Slen changes direction, and Tomczyk gets it back, and Slen quick to cross the forearms, indicating a foul. Let's have another look.
This is a very interesting choice to call the foul afterwards, rather than when the actual contact happened earlier on in the play before the defensive block was actually made. That's an interesting call for me, Steph.
Yeah, I agree, because I agree there may have been contact between Slen and Marszewski, but it seemed like he called it when he passed Tomczyk.
Whereas the rule, my understanding of the rule at least, Stefan, is that you have to call the infraction when it occurs.
I didn't fall myself.
But either way, what a fantastic heads-up play from Adam Tomczyk. That was a really lovely sort of just attention to where the disc is in motion and where the action is happening.
For the 40-year-old with 20 years of playing experience, makes that experience come good there, or well, almost, as Slen gets it back, and we've got a couple calls now in a short frame here.
Yeah, a little bit of a push-off foul, I think, there.
15 seconds.
Slen looks to go around. Kofi gives him something in the corner. Kofi goes back to Slen, and right back to John Kofi, or Mr. Jean O'Monday, as he's naturally given that name. A great story behind that one too, Hannah.
Well, why don't you tell us, Steph?
Well, Kofi, when he was young, was born Jonathan O'Monday. He went back to his native land, where his father's from, and that was in Ghana. And they call people by the day they were born on. And Kofi, John, was born on a Monday, or on a Friday, sorry. And so he picked Kofi to represent Friday, and then I said, well, that still doesn't make sense. Well, his father was Obeng, who was born on a Monday, who kept the O and changed the Beng to Monday. So his father, March Monday, now has John, who is Friday, Monday, as we all know as John Kofi. And here comes RJP. As the scuba goes up, Berentin interception, and she goes to Slen. A couple of snowmen on the board right now, Hannah. It's all tied up. Tomczyk put a wobble on it. Now Petitot all alone. Berentin, but not in. Could have milked that one. Let's see if Sesqui can hold their medal and walk this one in. Slen looked to go the other way, back to Berentin. Shot, Petitot finds his feet. And a lead taken back. Great game we've got here, 9-8. That makes it halftime, and that was a Galaxy point take for Sesquidistus. Nice first half, Hanny.
Yeah, just getting a little bit overconfident. I mean, Vidrovska, we've already mentioned, absolutely eating up the stats board here at this tournament. But that one, well defended, taken away by Maëlle Berentin. And just, I really like the options Sesquidistus chose not to throw.
Quick breaks here in the indoor version, but we will take a short break for this halftime and be back with you in no time. Don't go anywhere.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to to help you join VIO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
Come on, break!
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it! And we are back. Thank you, as always, for joining us and being with us. We are very excited to be back. First event of the season, and what a first half we're getting out of Cesi and RJP. France versus Poland. Once again, I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Hannah Pendlebury, ULTI.TV broadcast. Like and subscribe, become a patron, do all those wonderful things, and continue to enjoy this game. It's going to come down to the wire. I've got that feeling, Hannah.
Well, if this is the shape of the season to come, Steph, you're going to want to be watching all year long.
Maboulgué with the disc over the head of Maton to Heller. Now there's the man there, John Kofi. That layout to kickstart the scoring off for Sesquidistus still burned into my brain. That was such a wonderful play as he gets it back. Maboulgué winds up the backhand, gives to René. Now Maton. Heller. Maboulgué was open. She changes her path. And you could see the congestion there. And it caused the turn. Can RJP capitalize with an early break? Maboulgué gets it straight back. A great step in front, and then she bounces into her own teammate. The hammer deep, but can't be handled. A bunch of turns on this first point in the second half already. You can feel the tension, Annie.
Yeah, not a defensive block with a hand, but just the body in the way, getting the view of the disc obscured, but it's nice to see a bit of an introduction. I did suspect we saw it in the first half, but forced middle being used to try and just squeeze the space and stop those arounds and up lines.
RJP walking to the line.
Zone from the French.
Kofi! You gotta be kidding me! Sends the body. Second time he's hit the ground, and just as exceptional, maybe more, getting that layout D. Wow. In their end zone or just outside. And another turn. This is the highest turn count we've had at a point.
RJP just getting in each other's way, not allowing those kind of loose players to be exploited.
Maboulgué isolates Kofi in the dump space. Kofi looking to René. He's waiting for the throw to that open side, but it didn't go. Maboulgué finds Kofi, and you can feel the fatigue in this point now. A lot of waiting for eye contact before they cut, less initiative as they go.
And those of you yelling at home, why aren't they taking a timeout? You're not allowed to take any timeouts in live action play here at this Indoor Championship.
Heller. Back to René. René showing some frustration with his body language as Sesquidistus, like Tame and Pala, feel like they're only going backwards. Maton. Into the middle, Heller. Now they get back in the right direction. René. Kofi gets on his bike. Gives a cut, now wide open. The throw gets there, and Kofi, no stranger to the ground, finds it again. This time for a goal.
And that is exactly how all of the athletes must feel after playing that point out. That was a just trust ball, that last throw. Kofi just throwing himself, well, call him what you put on a survey. Jonathan O'Mondays. Well, I tell you what, he's not got a Monday feeling. He's got the Friday feeling here on Saturday.
He is. You call him whatever day of the week you want if he's going to play like that.
Yeah, but what an absolute grinder of a point, and that is just a sneaky pass. And look, no concern for his shoulder whatsoever.
RJP, Vitrovska, Callahan, and Seski went down too, but have been on absolute fire as Michon passes that one in for the Callahan, and they are on one heck of a run right now.
Well, 12 minutes left of regulation time here in the mixed division. Crossover action for you, and it seems that there's a little bit of a momentum change, and I think possibly a timeout being called by RJP.
I think that might be a good idea.
Well, no formal timeout being taken. Sesquidistus immediately putting that ball up, because of course, great volunteer scorekeepers here, keeping the timings on point.
Oh, Vitrovska, who bails herself out there. And another turn. Tomczyk throws right into Michon. The Callahan getter. Back to Michon. Oslen, nice cut, wide open going up that line. Then tries to sneak it in, but Vitrovska takes it away. And we've got a wild one here.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there from Sesquidistus. You have to think, though, if RJP don't pull their heads back up, they're just going to see this one sail away into the distance.
There's the goal getter at the start of the game, Vitrovska, who's been quieted down as of late, Tomczyk. Goes to the corner. Now Vitrovska. Didn't like the leading throw. Goes back to Tomczyk, center court. Tomczyk, wide side, Kublin. Oh! And a point block on the Scuba. Michon puts the hands up, and that's his third block of the game. Maybe of the point.
A little bit of the focus coming out of RJP. This is not the team they started off as.
And I think Michon's done that well, but Tomczyk says, no, your feet were down while you caught it.
Ambitious.
Michon floats one up. Oslen can't read it right away, but quickly handles and even quicker dishes off into that corner for René. And Hannah, 12-8. Do you remember when the score was 8-6 in favor of RJP? Well, that was a long time ago.
I'm going to make a cast an aspersion. Sesquidistus told us at the beginning of this game they were just going to rotate through their lines, keep the system, make sure everyone was spreading out. There may be a little bit of tinkering with that system, but I think there have been some real step-up performances that have really made a huge difference. Certainly Michon has been pivotal in terms of the defense. And of course, was he the one that scored that Callahan?
Yes, indeed, he was having that. I mean, you count that as a block, I guess. One of his 3 blocks.
It's a real big game changer, isn't it? You know, the kind of the spirit. They got that break, then they got the Callahan. It's it's a real difficult one for RJP to pick themselves up of, and it seems like they're playing on autopilot for this sort of last 2 points or so. So RJP taking the time out, giving themselves the opportunity to mentally reset the stage. Indoors, it's really easy. You can throw an assist from anywhere on the pitch. A 4-point margin with 10 minutes left on the clock or so. There's plenty of time for the Polish team to grind this one back out, but it all starts here. Got to get yourself a hold, and sometime soon.
Yeah, you're not wrong about any of that. And Oslen bounces off to Vitrovska, gets the block, wonders if he maybe impeded her space. She puts a thumbs up and said, you did fine.
He's a very rapid athlete.
And then Quentin Petito, and this, like a dessert on Thanksgiving, apple crumble perhaps, is seemingly happening here to RJP. We talked about how tight this game was, but now, Hannah, all Sesky.
where you could really see the kind of almost in unison, like some sort of dance troupe move, all of the heads of RJP go down when that goal went in. So again, it's a real autopilot thing, thinking, yeah, this connection, our best two players on offense so far this tournament connecting together for that first pass. You've got to look around, you've got to be cognizant of where the defense is.
Nice isolation to kick things off. Koblin. Into the hands of Krul. And another unforced error.
And this is where the psychology starts to come in. Those were secure passes in the first half of this game, and now there's doubt.
René. And Kofi. I think he's out, but he's still not afraid to throw that body around, so I like to see it.
Joe Cole, why not?
Yeah, jeez. And picked up RJP with a second chance to hold. That one across Krasowski. Inside throw, great hands there. Semenyuk keeps it alive, another under. Krul. Semenyuk in for the goal, and boy, oh boy, did they need that one.
Well, Semenyuk, clearly one of the players on RJP that is not impacted by Sesquidistus' lead. That was absolutely fantastic. Great grab there with both hands, ripping it down, then kind of quite demandingly saying, I'm sitting in this backhand, this is what I want to throw, can one of you please come and make yourselves available? And then just grinds up that sideline, really taking control of the point there. There's a number 13, 29 years of age, but she's a previous korfball player in her time. So likes the mixed score.
A little bit of korf. Berenton gets Petito, and straight to Michon, and easily done. The defensive hands up by Pojanski says, wait, what happened there? But Seski, another very quick score. Hannah, you talked about Jalieska being unfazed, one of the few players unfazed. That's good they have a few like that. They're going to need somebody, what I think at this stage, who could do for them what Kofi did for Seski. And it's that spark player, somebody to go out and make a huge play, a game-changing, momentum-swinging play. That's what RJP is going to need if they're going to get this swing, as they're asking for in the comments.
Well, and what they most need is to put 2 more breaks on the board, or 2 more points on the board before Seski put theirs, because you have to be within 3 when the cap
potential foul, but I felt like it was overthrown.
Well, I think Kofi to say no. He tapped himself in the chest with both hands, saying, "Nah, that was me. I moved into you." But good discussion.
Kublin. Leading throw over the shoulder of Anselin to Tomczyk. Wojtowska makes up for the ones he couldn't handle and hits the floor with pressure on to keep that one.
You know, the big difference between those 2 passes, the first one was a much easier throw, but there were 3 people in the end zone spread across. So I don't think Wojtowska was necessarily expecting that one to come to her. This one, very determined. She knew that that one was for her. You could see Aslan make the decision. He was running towards the disc, but realized he couldn't make the play. Love to see that kind of awareness and attention, especially in the mixed division.
Just more than 3 minutes remain. As you said, RJP now desperate for that break. They need one in these 3 minutes. Anselin goes under to Michon. Michon straight back to Anselin. Anselin gives the blade. Petito is there. Gets the foot down, and the speedster cashes in another.
Petito by name and by nature, keeping that lead well in front, and we're about 10 minutes off the exact time clock here in the stadium arena, but we're about 2 minutes left to go.
And as we said, 2 in a row is the task to extend the game, so pressure on first the RJP offensive line, and then the D line. It will end up almost certainly being a break or end the game situation.
We've already had 2 of the mixed crossovers go to hard cap, And we're 17, sorry, soft cap, 17 the soft cap in these games.
And Tomczyk overthrows, and this could spell disaster as far as the potential to stay in this game now. René slowly walking, why not? Less than 2 minutes on the clock, and all things pointing to advantage. René isolates, goes back to Kofi, straight back to René. And a 6-point game, 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining.
It's a game to 17. It's a game to 17 to start with, and it will be so as well to finish. But whether or not we see RJP put on the comeback performance of a tournament or not, I think a big thing you talked about, the advantage for Sesquidistus, I think possibly is a bit of in the middle ground of age and experience. They have a lot of experienced athletes who are still sort of, you know, pretty young, and they have been absolutely working the heck out of RJP. Really close match defense. And I think it's that little bit of tiredness that's making them throw not their best choices, but hopefully they can chuck this one in.
And here they come, RJP, Vidrovska. Centers again, Coublin. Oh, and a finger on it. Michon having a heck of a game for himself out there too. Berrenton will pick up, and this could be game if they break again. Petitot. Heller. Berrenton opening the dump space. Michon was open but didn't like the angle. Now finds that's Chenet. High, too high for Petitot, and they've given it back. Time will expire amidst this possession in the next 5 seconds. Vidrovska makes sure it ends with a goal. Travel was called.
I think my French is not as good as it used to be, but I think the discussion might be, did it really impact the outcome of the game?
Yeah, and that's a fair call, because even with that goal, it would be game over. But if they're trying to protect their point differential, I don't think it matters point differential now that we're into brackets. We haven't talked about that, Anna.
This is the crossover stage, so your point difference doesn't matter. The game would be over if you wanted to let that one stand, but we're going to play a little bit more ultimate, Steph.
So the winner here will advance to play a #1 seed from the group stages. And that one knocked out. This is a 2 versus 3 game. RJP #2 in their pool. Seski were #3 in their pool. So this result will be a step up into that quarterfinal. Nice break throw by Berrenton. Petitot goes wide. Chenet! And the game ends even more favorably for Seski. It's 17-10. And that makes it a 10-2 second half for 9-2 second half for Sesquidistus. What a performance they had there, putting the game away, Handy.
Indeed, so they will advance into the quarterfinals. Will this French outdoor team on the indoor surface? Of course, as we already mentioned, the French divisions do not have mixed featuring in their indoor competition, but just demonstrating they're perfectly capable of doing it there as well. So they will advance through to the bracket. Already locked into the quarterfinals, we have Outsitters versus Helsinki Ultimate, Terrible Monkeys and Mighty Hucks. So I'm getting lost here in the schedules, Stefan. Which of the opponents out of Hucks and Ultimate Saku will Sesquidistus been facing?
Saku is who they will play. The other Estonian outfit, as we have one last look at some of the plays of this game. But yes, it will be Saku, the second Estonian team.
And it looks like Tartu Turbulence then facing up against Hucks of Germany.
So a lot of action coming up. Quarterfinals will be all you'll see for the mixed division now. Getting to the pointy end. We're getting there quick. What a start to our stream. John Kofi putting on a performance. Michon, I thought Berrenton played really well. First half looked like we had what was going to be a barn burner. I thought it was going to come down to the wire here, but Seski just put their foot down and said, no, c'est pour nous.
7 points in a row. Say no more. 7 points in a row. Well, next up on our live stream, Steph, we have Aarhus and Uffe in the Open division yet to come. So stick around for that one, folks, as well as a long day of streaming pleasure for your viewing delights.
Don't go anywhere. Thanks for joining us here on ULTI.TV. For Hannah Pendlebury, I've been Stefan Rapazzo, and he will catch you next time.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.